All right, we're on. We're good.
And away we go. Good morning, Columbus, and welcome to another edition of From Our House to Your Home, the Remodeler Showcase. My name is Marty Reed. I'm your host, and the show is brought to you by Frog Hauling. If you want to clean your garage, your basement, your yard, give Frog Hauling a call. And if you're a remodeling contractor and only the best product will do for your customers, think of Frog Hauling. We carry 5 different sizes of containers so that you never pay for more container than you need. I'm happy today. We have a special guest. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag because he's too modest, okay? So he won't talk about this, so we're going to nudge him, folks. You've heard me talk about the NARI Spring Tour, Fall Tour, NARI Coty Awards. I always make it a point to go to the tour of remodeled homes because I always get great ideas. And when I go through the list of folks that I'm going to go visit, I can assure you that number 1 on the list is Charlie Griffey of Griffey Remodeling. I am always pleasantly surprised by, I'm going to call it unique design, and how what he does just seems to fit within an existing house. And he just comes up with some things. It's always the wow factor. I'm always wowed, Charlie, when I see your work. So, anyways, we're going to talk today. You know, I talk a lot about the Coty Awards, and I'm going to have you explain to the folks from a participant's perspective what the Coty Awards are. And prior to doing that, however, you know I have to make you introduce yourself. So talk a little bit. I've told you this every time you're on the show. Talk about anything you want. Just give the folks an idea of who you are.
Sure. I'm Charlie Griffey, Griffey Remodeling. Started the company. We're going on our 26th year. I have about 30 years in the remodeling industry here in Columbus, Ohio. I live in Westerville, wife, 3 daughters. And as you mentioned, I'm a NARI member. We've been members in NARI, I think, for about 12 or 13 years now. And in regards to the Coty Awards, there are several categories in the Coty that you can enter in, from kitchens to bathrooms to additions to outdoor to indoor. I think all in all, there's about 25 categories. So you have to be a NARI member to enter, and you know, there can be anywhere from a single entry in that category up to who knows how many.
They could have 10 bathrooms under $25,000 remodel, for example.
So you're basically competing in that category against other competitors in the industry. But it's always it's a great night. It's always a friendly competition, you know, and it was certainly great to win the Cotys that we did, but even better to have you know, the other guys come up and congratulate you. Yeah, and I got actually a couple emails you know, the week following, just saying, hey, you know, I'm really, you know, we're really proud of what you're doing. Your work is you know, it was awesome to see it up on the big screen. So that was great.
Well, I'm going to back up a little bit about the Coty Awards, and I'm going to broaden the explanation because once again, you're being modest. Charlie, there are 70 plus NARI chapters across the country, and every chapter has the opportunity to participate in what's called the Coty, or Contractor of the Year Award, by category. And take a local chapter, the remodelers that belong to that will submit projects to be judged. And oh, by the way, and we'll get to this, Charlie has been a judge on the national level. So it's your peers and experts in the industry that judge the product or the projects that you do, and you can win on a local level. And if you win on a local level, you can then compete on a regional level, and you can compete, if you win at the regionals, on a national level.
Correct.
And here in Columbus, the NARI chapter has had many contractors who have won at the national level.
Correct.
So, I mean, just to win at the local level, I mean, it speaks very highly of the type of work that a firm does.
Sure.
Because it's really scrutinized. And this year, this may be a record, but Charlie won 5 Coty Awards, 5 different categories. So I'm going to congratulate you.
It's not a record, but
it's remodelers enter 1 or 2 categories, casting their fate and hope they win those categories. And I was at the award ceremony this year, and Charlie just kept coming up on stage. So, now, Charlie, I mean, congratulations. It speaks very highly. As I said at the beginning of the show, I always like seeing your work because I'm always pleasantly surprised at the creativity that's involved in what you do.
Yeah, that's what, not only me, but our team, that's what we love to do. We love to do different things, approach things different ways.
Yeah. Well, Charlie told me, I talked to him a little bit about coming on the show this week, and he said, my website's kind of out of date. Well, let me tell you something. It may be out of date. I'm sure he's going to update it the way he wants. But I've been on Charlie's website, and he has plenty of pictures of the projects that he's done so that you can take a look and get a feel for what I'm talking about when it comes to creativity. There's still plenty of good stuff on your way.
Plenty of good stuff, but up on the right hand on the home page, there's a Facebook link. So if you hit that Facebook link, you're going to see more current stuff.
There you go.
I'm the one that updates the website, just haven't got around to it.
Well, it's not like you're not busy, Charlie. I know what you've been involved in.
That's the excuse.
Okay. So, next thing I want to talk about is, I always try to give the listening audience an idea of how a particular firm operates, and I do it under the umbrella that most good remodelers tout themselves as being design, build, remodel firms.
Correct.
Because there are components to components to a remodel. You got to design it, whatever it is, and you operate a design, build, remodel firm, but I think the way that you operate is somewhat unique because of your involvement. In other words, there may be a firm out there where they're going to send out the sales rep. After the sales rep, they're going to send out the designers, and they're going to go through this process with multiple people involved in a project.
Correct.
You have multiple people, but still your approach is a little different. I want you to give us some detail because I think it makes you different. So you're allowed to say I'm different. Go ahead.
We're definitely different.
Okay.
We are we're a smaller company compared to a lot of the companies in Central Ohio. We are a close family. When anyone calls in, my niece Taylor is going to be the one answering the phone, so she'll get all the information and then she'll hand it over to myself. So probably one of the most unique things about our company is I'm the only salesperson. When somebody calls, I'm the one that calls them, and then all the projects that we're doing, every client has my cell phone. It's not unusual for me to be texting at 8 o'clock at night back and forth with clients about a project. And the remodeling industry right now is, anybody who has a decent company is going to be very, very busy.
Right.
But I don't want to grow. We're fine where we're at. I like it where we're at, and I like to be not in control, but I want to know all the projects, and I want to know what's going on with every single project. So.
Well, and you also, and I don't want to mischaracterize Charlie's firm. You do hey, it's a bath remodel. I do a bath remodel, but you also have the capability of doing large, extensive projects.
Correct.
I mean, what I've seen, I'll give you an example, folks. He did in the spring tour. Charlie won Best in Show, and it was what, a 2,400 square foot addition to a house?
Correct. We added that much square footage, correct.
Yeah, and so he added the square footage, so there was a new build portion to it, but there was an existing footprint that he also remodeled when they put the addition on the house, and that was quite an extensive project. That lasted a long time, and I can say that because thank you, I provided the dumpsters
About
for that
25 of them.
Yeah, I provided the dumpsters, and I kept saying, wow, this thing is just going on and on and on.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it was a year or two ago, I can't remember, I'm too old, Charlie. You had a basement project that I went to see that was absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it was wine coolers. It was, I remember the stairs, the
lights in the
you put the
stair treads.
glass in the treads of the stairs.
Correct.
And there was lighting. I mean, the whole thing was just fantastic. But anyways, it's just a little different. I call your firm the artisan firm. I mean, fantastic craftsmanship. And it's just a different way of approaching. You're not a production. That's the term I'm going to use.
Yeah.
There are a lot of very good remodeling firms. There's a lot of large ones, but they're production firms where they could have 20 projects at one time going on, and you're not interested in the volume. You're interested in the quality of the project.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And that's how you end up with those great designs, because you're so personally involved in that. I know it. So, I mean, kind of, you know, having said all that, how is it that let's go from someone calls you to the finished project. Yeah.
So
What's
I
the
wanted to finish on
detail
that.
behind that?
So I'm the one who would go to the appointment with the potential client. I do probably 50 to 60% of the actual design work.
Yeah.
Even if I don't take it to full-blown architectural drawings, I'll have input on almost every project as far as some sort of design. As far as I think my strength is space planning. I've been doing that for many years. So if a job becomes a sole job, and then we take them to a design agreement, then after that design is done, then basically the baton gets passed over to my wife. She handles probably about 75% of our projects, and if she doesn't, she does the interior design. She helps with all the colors, selections, materials, fixtures, appliances, so to speak. And then the projects that she doesn't help on, sometimes clients want to do that on their own, and that's fine. Sometimes they have their own designer, that's fine. And even to the architectural side of it, sometimes people will approach us with designs from an architect. You know, a lot of companies in Central Ohio will only work off of their own plans. We have no problem working with someone else's plans as long as we see that it's a project that we do want to take on.
Okay, and it must be. I'm going to have to give your wife a little credit, because the designs are fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
How they come together.
Yeah. Well, that's a big difference between a good project and a great project. You know, is having somebody pull those colors together. You know, sometimes you might see, you know, some just one tile. You know, and say, I don't know about that, but for her to pull it all together,
yeah.
You know, it's to me it wins every time.
Well, see, I can't pull anything together, so I use this term. I'm eclectic.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work, you can always fall back on that term.
Well, one of our Coty winners was an eclectic bathroom.
Yeah.
So you probably like that one.
Yeah, crazy kind of stuff. Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, and we're going to talk to, I like this, Charlie's always prepared. So he's got, you know, we usually talk a little bit about what design trends are. We might touch on a few of them, but he's brought in some products today, and we're going to talk about the products, some of them that you use. They seem like simple products, but they're really unique.
Very unique.
And I think, stay tuned, and you're going to be entertained by what he shows you. We'll be right back. Okay.
No.
texting him.
Hey, he's a busy man.
Oh yeah.
We're breaking, right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Don't
whenever
worry,
you're ready.
about
Yeah.
the camera.
We're not sitting here telling off-color jokes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
just don't be adding friends on Facebook. Like, that would be a real waste of time. Like, if you're doing work, that's okay. Click. Oh, actually, you'll have to add us so you can share this link. Just me, not Rachel. You don't need friends with her.
And you got about 11 and a half minutes.
Okay,
So,
plenty of time.
Marty. I said Marty, and you said, are you coming in Tuesday? Next Tuesday, or are you off? Only because it's Christmas is Monday. I just don't know if you thought about it that way.
He told me he was going to be off, but
Okay.
No, that
I'm
was
just
the
asking.
second you asked me, January 2nd.
yeah, I asked you about Christmas too because I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh, the
Next Tuesday, I'm
26th?
not going to be here. I'm
Wait,
taking
you
the
won't
morning
be
off.
here?
I have to go pick up my mother at the airport.
So we have to go to the airport to record the show? What do you say, Jim?
Yep.
Okay.
You got to come to the airport to pick up the show.
You know, I'm going to have to look at my calendar because what I did was I just scheduled like.
Well, if Jim's not here, there's.
Then we'll have to get Doug
Well,
or
no,
Doug or Dan
no,
to
I'll
do
figure it out. I'll figure it out.
We'll get Doug or Dan to do it.
Hmm?
What are you touching on? That's it.
No, we'll talk a little bit
Someone
about it.
is.
I hope the mic picks it up.
Oh, I got you a little bit.
Sure. Great.
Yeah.
About that project.
Okay.
You got about 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah, we got time.
So we got time. Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we're talking to the infamous Charlie Griffey of Griffey Remodeling. Tell the folks how they get in touch with you, Charlie.
Phone number is 614-751-6920. Website is griffeyremodeling.com. Like I said earlier, the best way to basically follow us is if you have a Facebook account, follow us on Facebook.
Okay. I want to circle around a little bit. We're going to talk about some design trends and products, but let's talk a little bit about the project that I was totally enamored with, the addition. And you mentioned earlier you have family members that work for you.
Correct.
And I was fortunate enough when I went to view the project, your nephew took me around and showed me. So
Yeah.
introduce him, because he's turned into quite the master carpenter.
Well, in 2003, I had a twin brother who was with the company, and unfortunately he passed away. And prior to his passing, he was a master carpenter. There's a huge difference between a carpenter and a master
Right.
carpenter. My brother was a true master carpenter. He was only with me for probably about 5 years when I started the company, and he just shot up the ladder. He was running crews. When he passed away, he left behind a wife, son, and a daughter. And his son, Matthew, was 8 years old at the time. And that project that you're referring to was probably the first project where he excelled, took ownership. I mean, that was a 11-month project.
Yeah.
And when he probably didn't point out to you that he did all that work in there, but one of the highlights in that project was the dining room. The dining room ceiling was over 300 pieces of crown molding that was assembled piece by piece. And he just got, perhaps it's a Griffey trait, but he got all that from his father. So the proudest moment for me, obviously, was winning that, but just to have him and my niece Taylor involved in the company, and that was basically their award. And that's just where he shined. He excelled. All that paneling in the kitchen, he did every single piece all by himself. It wasn't unusual to go in on a Saturday, see him with his earphones on and working by himself, just plugging away. So, so anyway, that's obviously
No,
a proud,
we have to
proud
give
moment for
kudos
us,
to him. And I did ask him about the woodwork.
Yeah.
Because one of the things about that project was the spatial layout was really, it just all came together. But it was the detail. And that crown molding, the ceilings, everything. And when we walked through, I said to him, "Did Charlie do this?" And he said, he was modest. Griffey trait. But he did say, "Yeah, well, I did a lot of this too, you know, kind of thing." And
He did
I
it,
told
and
him, I
it's
said,
all-
"Man, this is." It was one of those projects. You know how you tell a master carpenter, as I say, depends upon the amount of
Caulking. Well, that's it.
Master carpenters don't use caulk. It just fits.
And it's, you know, for Matthew, we got some. I got another master carpenter on staff. Matthew, he's 25 years old. I wouldn't necessarily call him a master yet, but he's
Yeah.
going to be very soon. But all that detail that you saw was all hidden fasteners.
Yeah.
You can't see it. And his standard is if you can slide a piece of paper between the joint, it's garbage.
Yeah.
You know? Don't rely on the caulking. You know, even though it's painted woodwork, but you look up close to all those joints, and it's all tight, super tight. So very proud of him.
Very good. Okay, we've got a few minutes. I want to talk a little bit about. You brought in a couple of products I think are really cool. Talk to the audience about that.
Well, everyone has, you know, their phones, their iPads,
Yep.
and, you know, charging stations, and so a lot of our every single project we incorporate something, and it's really not a big fee. It's about convenience and being smart. So here we have just a Decora duplex outlet. Where you can plug in two things, and you can also plug in two USB ports, so you can plug in basically 4 appliances at the same time. So if you can retrofit, you don't have to tear out the wall. You know, you can just replace a regular duplex outlet with this thing, and you can still get 2 charging stations, 2 ports, for a charging station, and then 2 things you can still plug
And
in.
I'm going to be doing that. See?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. And show me the
And then
next.
also
This is
this one here.
This
This
I'm
is-
going to be doing.
Yeah, well, see, this is a duplex outlet cover here, and then all you do is take the screw out, push it on. These 2 little prongs here get your power here.
Uh-huh.
So you just screw it on, and literally we could just take this off, screw this screw on, and you're done. And then you have a place to plug in USB port here, and then you can still use the double outlet, here.
Fantastic. Now, I need this desperately because I'm old and I use the restroom in the middle of the night.
Yeah, this same concept. So this here, it's a regular, traditional, where this one here is more the Decora here.
Yeah.
So traditional outlet cover. You can get this or the Decora, but it's got a night light built into the bottom of it. So you can put this anywhere. As soon as it gets dark, again, it's getting its power from the inside of these prongs here. But we light a lot of our hallways. We light our bathrooms. That way, clients don't have to go through and fumble with light switches
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, correct. And you can they even just made one here where you can dim it. You can change the brightness of it. So
Unbelievable.
use that quite a bit here. This here is what we call a smart switch here. So you hear the term, there's an app for that.
Yeah.
We take out your regular switch, put this in the wall. It's got your on off. But right now you could be turning on your lights. You could turn on your Christmas tree. If you want to, you're late at night, you want to see your tree on when you come home.
Using your
Phone.
smartphone.
You're using your smartphone. Yeah. So you just whatever switch this would operate, any kind of lighting, you could change it. If you're, out of town and you want to turn on your lights, turn it on and off. So.
And the thing about when you said you just unscrewed the old outlet and you screwed the new one in,
Just a
that's
screwdriver.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
you
what I'm
could
saying.
do
If
it.
you don't want to get an electrician involved with something like this, you just back out one screw and you have your new USB port.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, we've got like 4 or 5 minutes left, real quick. You have to talk about design trends. I mean, I could take a half an hour show with you on design trends because you know all that's going on. Whatever you want, talk about.
Well, you always ask about colors,
Yeah.
cabinet colors, and we 2 of our Cotys this year were stained cabinets. So stained cabinets are not completely gone.
Okay.
One of them was actually two of the Cotys were painted cabinets. 2 of them were stained, and one was painted but very rustic. That one basement that had the wine that was the whiskey bar. But we're still doing painted. We're still doing stained. We're doing bold, unique. I wouldn't say I don't get hung up on color trends. So if I see in some magazine that gray is still a trend, we don't get hung up on that. But one kitchen that we're getting ready to do now is
Gonna show me a picture. Oh yeah,
teal.
Green. Is
Teal.
that what it is? Teal.
Yeah. So this is over on Hoover. So we're pretty extensive kitchen. We're going into the dining room, taking out the wall between the two and extending the kitchen into that space. Doing a lot of reclaimed wood on the ceiling, but the whole entire kitchen is going to be this teal color. So again, it's with any renovation, it's trying to be sensitive to the woodwork and its surroundings. So they have stained woodwork throughout. So they didn't want white, and another stained cabinet wouldn't have worked out well. So we proposed this, and everybody's on board with it. So,
and I'm glad you brought that in, because one of the things today that I've noticed is it's been in the last year or two, the tour, people are being bold with kitchen cabinets. They're, I could have said 2 to 3 years ago, predominantly it's white, and it may still be.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see a lot of colored cabinets now. And I was at one place, and it was kind of, I'll call it the light teal. That's a little darker. It was fantastic because it was bright and airy, and it was and I saw one last tour. They used kind of a blue cabinet, and it was really pretty too. So
yeah, to use them as an accent, it's fine. But this one here, we're doing the whole kitchen that way. As far as design trends, we're still. I would say about 2 years ago, a lot of people were completely eliminating their tub and doing the larger showers. But if the space is there, we're starting to see tubs come back. Even if it is a tub deck, it's not the big corner tubs. It's
not that, I call it the disco tub.
No, or the mini swimming pool. But we do a lot of wet rooms where the shower and the tub are in the same room. Actually, one of our Coty's was a wet room, and the other one was just a barrier-free walk-in shower. A lot of design trends in the kitchen as or in the main floor. We're eliminating that formal family room. We might be pushing their dining room into that formal space, and then doubling the size of the kitchen, or just reworking that as far as design areas.
Okay. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Folks, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for the remodeler that's going to give you the wow factor, it's Charlie Griffey and Griffey Remodeling.
Thank you.
And I mean that. I am always... I even have my wife now, when I say we're going to go to the tour, we're going to go see Charlie. So that's what she says. So anyways, tell the folks real quick, once again, how they get in touch with you, Charlie.
The phone number is 614-751-6920. Website, Griffey, Griffey, remodeling.com.
Very good. Thanks for listening. Go out and make someone happy today. We'll see you next week. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
You're always
Appreciate
good.
it.